Manning Passing Academy happened a couple of days ago, I guess now, and was in Louisiana. And the thing that I like about this kind of camp setting is you get to see, one, guys that want to compete are going to compete. Like, you're out there in shorts and a t-shirt, you're throwing it around, you're with some of the best quarterbacks in the country. Like, nobody is forcing you to compete here. And so I like that it reveals that. I also like that it takes away some other variables that you would typically get in a college football game. Like, there is no 11-on-11 defense. You're just out there flashing your tools, showing what you got, getting out there and slinging it. So some top performers are listed on on3.com. There's a great article out there by our staff. Shea Dixon was the boots on the ground from Bengal Tiger, and just a lot of good insight to take away from this one. And with it being in Louisiana, you had not one, but two LSU quarterbacks there. The entire LSU QB room, I say the entire LSU QB room, the top two on the depth chart look good, according to our people there. And if you're an LSU fan, you feel like the cupboard is stocked. Like, you hope and pray every single night that Jayden Daniels is able to go wire to wire this season. But if for whatever reason Jayden Daniels isn't starting a game for you, you feel good because you got Garrett Nussmeier sitting behind him. And so for Jayden Daniels, talking about what he did at the Manning Passing Academy, going into it, the conversation for him was he wants to work on his deep ball. That's one of the things he's really trying to hone in on this offseason. And the reports are out of the camp that he was among the most accurate when it came to his vertical game. Said he was slinging the rock. So if that ends up trending into the season and he is accurate vertically, if he can unhitch the wagon, that changes the entire way you got to play LSU defensively. Because you know they're going to run the football. You know Jayden Daniels can tuck in a run. You know they've got some dudes in that backfield now that are going to be able to carry the mail for you. But if those safeties are not allowed to just run up and play run support, and they got to worry consistently about the deep pass behind them, tell you what now, LSU is going to be a scary sight for a lot of these opposing defenses. So how much stock do you put in the Manning Passing Academy and the report you're hearing? I think you should take some, but this is a positive this is positive intel, rather, with Jayden Daniels and what we saw from him at the Passing Academy. Now, Garrett Nussmeier, you would hope that he is holding the clipboard for the duration of the season and getting some time late in games, but said he looked good in the intermediate game. Said that he looked sharp, and that's encouraging to me because it shows that Garrett Nussmeier is still using this offseason and using this season, rather, as a springboard to when he is the guy at LSU. He's taking it serious, right, is what I think we all need to understand about Garrett Nussmeier, because his decision to stay at LSU could be enormously impactful for him when he does end up starting, when he does get his chance to run the team. Because a lot of schools would have given a left arm and a special teams unit to have him on their roster, to have him transfer over. But if he takes this time seriously and is able to continue to develop, continue to mature, continue to work that intermediate game, we all know he can sling it deep. We all know he wants to sling it deep. If he continues to develop and is even a better version of what we've seen from him before, when he comes to, 2024, LSU is going to be in good shape to keep this thing rolling. So Garrett Nussmeier, another top performer. Be encouraged, Tiger fans. Now, Quinn Ewers, someone we talked about earlier in the live show, but the reports are out of the Manning Passing Academy that he just looked like a version of what we saw against Alabama. He was slinging it around, was one of those guys that was, a standout of sorts. Like, you watch the camp and you can immediately pick out, okay, that kid's got something different. That's what was talked about with Quinn Ewers. A lot of praise for him all throughout that weekend. And for me, this is sort of expected. You kind of expect the natural ability of Quinn Ewers to flash in a camp setting. The thing for me, and that I'm encouraged to see, or would be encouraged to see, is the psyche for Quinn Ewers. Because think about all that he's had to endure since he's been at Texas, man. Since he got to Texas. I mean, let's take it a step further, since he decided to leave high school early to be able to make good on some NIL money. He's been extremely scrutinized. There's been a lot of people with opinions on him. He's been dinged up. He got thrust in the spotlight on one of the most recognizable college football teams in all the country. Like, that would wear on anybody. And I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just assuming that has to play some factor for getting up to speed as a starting quarterback at Texas. And so if he's able to really hone in the physical part of it, along with the mental part of it, and just be a stable piece for them in 2023, like, Texas is going to be dangerous now because of all the reasons we already know about this offense. So you're encouraged that he had a good showing. The psyche part of it is something I'm really watching for as we get into the season. Joe Milton, no surprise here. I mean, every time this dude walks out onto a football field, especially in a camp setting, like he's just a walking viral clip. I promise you, every single iPhone was up and pointed at Joe Milton when he was taking reps during this passing academy. We already saw one where he just walks, I think he did a play action kind of drop and then just threw a moon ball like 70 yards. The dude's special when it comes to his physical ability. The encouraging thing for Tennessee fans is that the question around his accuracy and his touch is fair, but if you're looking at the passing academy, sounds like he was one of the first individuals to hit the moving golf cart. I think it was somewhere around 50 plus, 60 plus yards downfield. So notice what I didn't say. In the skills challenge, Joe Milton didn't walk out there and win longest throw. That wasn't something they were doing. It was, can you hit the moving golf cart downfield? Now, it's June. We're taking all the positive intel we can get about these guys. But for Joe Milton, I think it's encouraging that you saw him have a good showing in a place like this. And I'll take it a step further, too, with him. If Joe Milton had walked out there and sucked, like, it would have been everywhere. Everybody would have said Joe Milton struggles at passing academy. Joe Milton proves that he continues to be inaccurate. Joe Milton proves that he is overthrow Joe. Like all of the naysayers would have come out of the woodworks. They were waiting to say something negative, I promise you. So the fact that that's not happening, I think that tells you even more about his performance in the Manning Passing Academy than anything else. So be encouraged, Tennessee fans. Two more I want to talk about. Drake May. Just did Drake May things, it sounds like. There was a part of the skills challenge at the Manning Passing Academy where you throw a football from 50 yards into a basketball hoop. That's why we love the summer, why we love Manning Passing Academy. Drake May, sounds like, trots out there, one of the first reps that he's taken in the entire camp, one of the first reps of this drill, and just sinks it. Game blouses. Who else wants to play? Who's playing for second? Like Drake May, I don't have a ton of questions about him. I wanted to talk about him because that story is just hilarious. And I think it just proves that, you know, he's special. And so I'm excited to see what he does. Drake May doing Drake May things in the Manning Passing Academy. There you go. Devin Leary is one more name I want to talk about here. And the reason I want to talk about Devin Leary is because there was so much buzz around Will Levis last year and how talented he is and his arm strength and all that. Y'all, Kentucky averaged like 19 points a game. That's not very good. And I understand Will Levis was dinged up at times, but if Devin Leary is able to be more efficient with distributing the football, if he's able to do a better job not turning the ball over, Will Levis double-digit interceptions last year, if they're able to protect him better, they got some dudes now that got to see the football. Dane Key, a lot of people are excited about him, one of the best-kept secrets in college football at the wide receiver position. Berrien Brown, freshman All-American for us here at On3. Tavian Robinson, they got some dudes now that can giddy up and go. So if Devin Leary is able to be that more effective asset for them at the quarterback position and be consistent, Kentucky's going to be dangerous. Kentucky's going to make some noise. The intel out of the passing academy is he looked healthy, which is encouraging given his history and what he's recovered from. And he looked one of the most consistent and efficient passers of the whole camp. So it's only a camp. I understand you're not putting on pads. You're not taking a rush, like all that. I get it. But positive intel is positive intel. And it's fun to see these guys go out there and compete against the best in the country. So the LSU quarterback room, Quinn Ewers, Joe Milton, Drake May, Devin Leary, all had good showings. Let's get to the fall, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.